What up, y'all? Star Wars Steph here, and we're going to be taking a look at all the spoilers from the Shadows of the Galaxy. Now, I haven't done this yet, so I'm going to do a bit of a longer video, and yeah, let's get right to it. Let's start off with the leaders. So we have Hondo Ohnaka, and this is a, command villainy unit, and when you play a card using Smuggle, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to a unit. So, if you set up a bunch of Smuggle in your resource pile, and you smuggle those out, you can give somebody actually an experience token, which can be pretty good, right? I mean, like, you're already going to be doing that anyways. This is just going to automatically tap as soon as you perform that action of using a smuggle card. So yeah, I can see this actually being pretty decent. And it comes out on 6. It is a 3/7, which is it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. Has raid 1, so technically a 4/7 when attacking, which is pretty strong. When you play a card using Smuggle, you once again give an experience token to a unit, and this is also static as well, so this just keeps on triggering. This could find its way into some pretty cool decks. Might be really good in Limited if you happen to crack this and a bunch of Smuggle cards. Could be pretty interesting. We're going to look at Moff Gideon now. A lot of people have seen this. You guys have all seen the Smuggle and the bounties and all that. So we're gonna talk on a lot of this stuff as if you know already what's going on. Moff Gideon on its leader side has an action that actually costs an action. So this isn't going to be a stagnant effect. Attack with a unit. So you are going to be pretty much, it is kind of built in, but you can only do it once per turn. Attack with a unit costs 3 or less. If it's attacking a unit, it gets +1 attack for this attack. Kind of mediocre. Could be good into larger units, I guess, but you're really only going to be using this towards the beginning of the game because he comes out on 5, and he's a 3/6. Which is pretty strong, a little bit understated compared to the likes of Boba Fett, but yeah, it gets Overwhelm, and each friendly unit that costs 3 or less, so this is a stagnant effect, gets +1 attack and gains Overwhelm while attacking. Now this part could be pretty monumental, except basically you're gonna have to be running Weenie Patrol out there, as it only gives the boost to units that cost 3 or less. On to Boba Fett, we have a heroism command Boba Fett. All right, so Boba Fett getting back-to-back leaders. Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. When you play a unit that has 1 or more keywords, so we're talking Saboteur, Smuggle, I mean, yeah, Sentinel, a lot of options on that one. You may exhaust this leader. If you do, give a friendly unit +1 for the face. So it doesn't even have to be the leader, the unit that you're playing. It can be actually a unit that is already ready, waiting to attack. But as you find in Star Wars, you kind of really, like, the first thing you do, you don't really want to play a card. You kind of want to attack with the units that you have set up. As doing something like this just puts a big target on whatever it is that you give the friendly to. So it is a 6 cost unit, so costs 1 more than our yellow Boba that we're traditionally used to. Still a 4/7, Underworld tag, that's all we got. Still not Mandalorian. I mean, by this time, I mean, he's shown his chain code, okay, that his armor is Mandalorian. Why couldn't they? Okay, sorry, I digress. Each of the friendly unit that has 1 or more keywords gets +1. So this is a static effect. This is actually pretty good. Makes sense as he's the daimyo sitting on his throne, and you get 1 attack. You get 1 attack. Just looking like Oprah out there. All right. Next up, we have Hunter from Bad Batchers out here. Action that actually costs 1. So yeah, reveal a resource you control. If it shares the same name as a friendly unique unit, return the resource to its owner's hand and put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. So basically, it's really good if you're trying to loop some of the like smaller units that are unique, that like pretty much like you can attack with it, get it off the board, and then play another one of it. So I'm thinking like Greedo's here. It is Hero, so I'm thinking Leia. But yeah, this is kind of interesting. It's recursion, but the thing is that you put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. What if that's a card that you actually needed? Yeah. And it flips on 7. It's a 5/8, which is only seen by the likes of Vader. And it has Overwhelm. On attack, yeah, do the same thing. Reveal a resource you control. If it shares the same name as a friendly or unique unit, return the resource to its owner's hand, and put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. Once again, just running into the same interesting dynamic. Cool thing here, we got a Vibro Blade. I think that's my favorite thing about that card. Yeah, I don't know how much play that's really going to see. It is big and overstated, but yeah. Next up, we have Bosk. Yeah, once again, action that costs 1. Deal 1 damage to a unit with bounty, and then you may give +1 to it for the phase. So I guess, I mean, you have to play a lot of bounties in order to, yeah, boost up your own. Yeah, I think the backside's a little bit better. When you collect a bounty, you may collect that bounty again. So super duper strong. Comes out on 5. It's a 4/6. Yeah, not much to say here with what we're gonna see with the different bounties that we have. This is gonna be an interesting deck, to say the least. Next up, this is one of the newer ones, Kylo Ren. I actually love this card. Action, discard a card from your hand. Give a unit +2 for this phase. Once again, this is one of those effects where coming straight out the gate, you want to be really attacking, not discarding to give a buff, because once again, that just puts a big target on their back. But yeah, we'll see how that card plays out. And it is a 4 cost, so we have our counterpart to Sabine. It is a 5/4, which is very, very strong, but there's a big drawback. This unit gets -1 for each card in your hand. I wonder if something like Force Lightning would shut this off. Like you play Force Lightning on your own thing. I can't remember if Force Lightning says only unit that your opponent controls. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Then you can boost them back up, right? For the cost of 1. Once again, though, you want to be attacking. But there's a lot of synergy with another card in here. And this leader can be very, very good if you're building a very aggro deck where you are just pumping units onto the field from your hand and not worrying about really having a lot of cards in your hand. Also, don't forget, we have Smuggle. Next up, another red leader. This is a red hero leader, Bo-Katan. She has an action. If you attack with a Mandalorian unit, deal 1 damage to a unit. So, yeah, it has to be kind of done at the end phase. You are going to be giving up initiative. Can be good. Yeah. And then on attack, this is a little bit better. She's a 6/4/7. And on attack, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. If you attacked with another Mando this phase, deal 1 damage to another unit. So yeah, she's just using her pistol and shooting all around. Pew, pew, pew. But yeah, this could stack up, right? I mean, if you're hitting a 2 cost once and then hitting a 2 cost again, this can become very, very interesting. But coming out on 6 and in the aggro category, kind of might hurt a little bit. But we shall see. Next up, we got Childish Gambino in the flesh. All right, Lando. Yeah, action, costs an action. Play a card using Smuggle, costs 2 less. But you got to defeat a resource you own and control. Oof. Okay. And then he flips out on 4. He's a 2/5. You could play a card using Smuggle, costs 2 less. Defeat a resource you own and control. Like, it's good, but you're technically, I mean, I guess it could be really good in like a green deck, right? Where you're using Rogue Squadron Skirmisher, Rogue Squadron Skirmisher to like recur the cards back to your hand, right? You put cards into your resource that you want to use later with his effect, and then you dump them with the same effect, and then you use something like the Skirmisher to get them back into your hand, but you're losing a resource every turn that you do this. So yeah, it's interesting. This card could be good, but we shall see, especially with what other Smuggle cards we get. Okay, and last but not least, one of the leaders that we have revealed, the Mandalorian. Okay, Mando himself, Din Djarin. All right, when you play an upgrade, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, exhaust an enemy unit with 4 or less remaining HP. So this is a static effect. It just goes on top of something that you are already doing, which is going to be playing that upgrade, and you can exhaust a unit. So, I mean, he comes in tapping these things down in yellow. This is going to be absolutely amazing, especially with one of the other double yellow cards that we got recently. And on the backside, when you play an upgrade, you may exhaust an enemy unit with 6 or less HP remaining. So yeah, same thing, just pops up, just exhaust something even larger. And that's it for our Shadows of the Galaxy leader review. Next up, we'll be heading into different aspects, so be sure to check those out as well. And until next time, peace.